Hi, I'm DM Fitzgerald. I'm the creator of the Mper adventure. I'd like to thank all of you that have liked and subscribed to give us a boost. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please consider it. We could definitely use the help to the site. And now, let's roll the tape.
When last we left our intrepid adventurers, they were in separate areas. Morgan is pondering her goddess's words. She knows that this area is warded against magic and keeping her from recurring spells. Then she remembers that she had a spell of traveling distances in her mind before she was dragged here. She senses the rough pattern of the spell, and she still has it. She realizes she might be able to cast it at a lower level, using what little power there is to it to get her outside of the area. She realizes that she has a choice of where to go, and she chooses Deserata, where she will face Distaria the Queen. Better to go on your feet than be dragged. Using the spell isn't easy, but it does go off, and she's free. She finds herself out in the desert, but still many miles from Deserata. Meanwhile, back at the camp, a week goes by. In that time, Cherie doesn't visit Marcus, and the Death Masters do not torture Scala. Finn is allowed to wander the camp and keeps the characters informed on what's going on in the camp, as well as stealing things like weapons and food, and then hiding them for a future escape attempt. Garu recovers from his wounds with the help of the disguised Brother Mercy. Brock fights in the pits and trains new recruits. Finn has pieced together what has happened. He figures out that Morgan has escaped about a week ago, and everyone in the camp has been tasked with finding her. But after a week, there's no sign of her. Everyone is on edge. In the dungeon, Scala wakes up, and she sees a figure approaching her from the darkness. Thinking it's Golnve, she steels herself for an attack. But instead of the Stormwalker, she sees that it's the goddess, Chaldasea. The goddess looks worn and fragile. She tells Scala that she has come to save her. They talk, and the goddess laments of her limited powers. She says, "I cannot save all of you." Scala takes this to mean the rest of the party. She agrees to whatever Lady Chaldasea wishes to do, even if that means leaving her, Scala, behind. The goddess smiles and takes the young woman's hand. As she pulls, a ghostly form comes from Scala's body. Chaldasea says that she has pulled her spirit out of the ruined body. She says that she could not save all of what she was, only her faith. She rechristens Scala's spirit form as Karin, which means lantern in the dark, and she sets her in the desert to make her way as a new servant of the lady. Meanwhile, 300 years in the future, Roscoe, the toughest halfling in the world, is sleeping in his coffin. Until recently, he was a servant of the last stand of humanity, but he was captured by the dark forces and made into one of them. a vampire. The lid of his coffin opens, and before he can rise, a flaming hand reaches into the box, pins him inside of it, and although the fire is hot, it doesn't burn him. His mouth is pried open, and a strange potion is poured down his throat. Spitting and sputtering, he sits up and sees a woman who's made of flame standing over him. The woman speaks in a low voice. 300 years ago, in the time of the light, when I was but 14, you saved me from the very undeath that you have become. I am returning the favor, but you must help me again. You must help me become what I am becoming. The sorceress gestures, and a gate opens up, just as the undead in the catacomb are waking up. She grabs Roscoe, and they step through the gate.